Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more of the NYChampionships NA Qualifier action. We're in, I believe, day 4 of coverage, and we got another best-of-1 elimination series for you, and then a best-of-3 to follow. So I'm Kyle Guy. That gentleman right there is Gods for Beyond the Summit. How you feeling today?
Looking forward to some good Dota, especially in the second series today. Not to belittle the first series, but Union Gaming, who'll be going on up against Fire, didn't play very well. They got stomped in their opening match. As for Fire, though, they looked okay against Pain. Pain were just kind of a couple steps ahead of them most of the way.
Which was pretty surprising. For a lot of people, many hats were won in that specific series. A lot of people thought with some of the big names that Fire has, you got to remember you got Fluff, you got Jo, that they were going to be the ones as favorites, but Pain beat them down, and now we are going to be here in the lower bracket, and we got to find out which of these two teams is going to be going home and which team is going to move on forward. So with that, we don't want to stall things out much longer. Let's begin with the draft. Priority first bans coming out from Fire Dota is going to be very similar to what we see from like your DC in Digital Chaos. They removed the Bounty Hunter and the Naga on the side of Union Gaming. First, they removed the Spirit Breaker, leaving out a lot of options. Do they let the Lesh go?
Oh, yeah, it's a possibility. There's like Gyro, Lena's still in the pool. There's Earthshaker, Clockwork, so I think you could just be considering leaving the pool wide open here. It is Fire with first pick, so if you give, yeah, they're going to give them Lesh.
We might see the magical disco blue pony of death. And there he is, the one and only Leshrek. Union Gaming had to know that this is a situation they have just put themselves into. So I'm very curious to see what their 1-2 punch is going to be. I anticipate maybe a Tusk to be a bit aggressive, but do you have to specifically get an early like AM grab or something to go against the Leshrek? What do you do here?
I don't think you have to get the anti-mage necessary. Leshrek is a hero that if you don't give him a ton of momentum, he doesn't snowball, can actually not be all that effective. So I think just getting good early game rotations, having a hero like an Earthshaker could be good.
Nicely
Earthshaker
done.
Comes out. And it kind of can help secure up your mid lane. You don't even have to pick your mid laner. You can have a Lena, you can have a Queen of Pain, you can have a Shadow Fiend. Earthshaker alone is just the best kind of roaming hero once Bounty Hunter is taken out of the pool.
It's just, it feels very risky. If this was a best of 3 and game 1, you're like, let's give them a Lesh and see how it goes, I can maybe understand that. But this is elimination best of 1. And Union Gaming, who are already looked like one of the weaker teams this tournament, and even based on their last series, to make this kind of a ballsy play, I don't know. I applaud them if it ends up working out. We'll have to see, because on the side of Fire, and specifically I'm sure Fluff as captain is like, okay, this is the dream. We have Lesh and we have Tusk. What can go wrong from here?
Well, they got like 2 top-tier picks. Union Gaming kind of got none. I mean, Earthshaker I'd definitely say is, but it doesn't seem like a worthy trade for a Lesh Tusk. That's where the Gyrocopter ban was surprising, because if you're going to give away Lesh, you should be leaving Gyro in the pool as well. So if they take Lesh, you get Gyro. If they take Gyro, you get the Lesh. You get one of the two. But
I feel like maybe what they're doing with this Darkseer Earthshaker grab is probably trying to take a note from their other SA teammates, and they might try to creep in a Brood here. They themselves have taken the Darkseer. They themselves have taken the Earthshaker here. Maybe they're going to try to finagle him into their own draft. I mean, I'm really theory crafting deep on this, only because it seems like such a peculiar 1-2 punch.
Yeah, I guess it's the main thing there is how would you want to lane it, because Darkseer kind of a natural off laner once he's been picked up, so you'd be putting Brood in kind of an unconventional lane, or Darkseer like in the jungle, which is not really, I guess, the best way to place things. I like that Fire cover their bases here. They ban out Husker, one of the heroes that can cause Lesh a lot of problems. Considering he's so magic damage focused, although the Edict is physical damage, but the armlet toggling Husker is just a menace.
They ban the AM themselves. Typically a go-to for many teams when they're stuck in a situation against a Leshrek.
Yeah.
This is just confidence coming out of the ears of Union Gaming. Maybe they don't even know it. Maybe they have a game plan in mind, but this seems very interesting. Yeah, okay. I'm very curious to see these next couple of picks.
I think they've got to look towards heroes like Lena as like one of the potential mids that can fight a Leshrek, get kills, and kind of do what Lesh wants to do, which is snowball off of those early kills. So Lena's possibility. If they want to go a bit more greedy farm focus, the Shadow Fiend's still available as well. But for now, they'll just shore up their supports and get Winter Wyvern.
Wyvern, you know, can't hate it too much. Can't fall. Boy. Yeah.
Forgot about him. Okay.
Okay, so this is... I don't even think Team Secret in their prime, when they were flexing this kind of strategy back at ESL Frankfurt, could even imagine having this trifecta of a start. Getting not only the dynamic duo now of a Tusk and a Techies, but you already have a Lesh to boast on top of it. this is just getting ridiculous at this point. Union Gaming got to look at this and be like, okay, we got to do something about it. What do you do though?
Against Tusk Techies? Oh gosh, you've got to have a ranged carry there. You want to hear like maybe a Queen of Pain of some kind. That's been my kind of go-to when you're against at least a Techies in the off lane. Just to hear that can kind of match up, be left alone a bit. Urshick can rotate and maybe look for a kill. Same for Winter Wyvern, but for the most part, you want like a hero that's pretty sustainable on their own and can actually outlane and just outlast hit the Techies. But you throw the Tusk in the mix and it gets a bit dicey. That's why Queen of Pain is pretty good, because as soon as you see the snowball, you blink the hell away, because you're getting snowballed on. It's probably going to be a suicide. So Queen of Pain can react to the snowball and not get hit by it with that 1200 range blink. So.
Yeah, the nice thing is that because they already committed to the Wyvern, with even the benefit of Arctic Burn, he can always deal with the mines and be that kind of mine sweeper from a good distance away without having to worry too much. But then again, if your Wyvern does get caught out trying to be the mine sweeper, you're going to lose a pretty valuable asset in the upcoming team fight. So we'll have to see what their answer is going to be. For now, just going into a Templar Assassin, they're passing over some top options like your Shadow Fiend, like your Lina, to commit to this TA, and it takes very little time for Firedoe to respond with a Dazzle of their own. Now you have that Dazzle heal bomb to go along with the Tusk. If Techies gets caught out, Shallow Grave could keep him alive that much longer to get off maybe a big potent suicide, let's say. Just seems like a pretty damn solid 4-man draft still here for Fire.
Yeah, and the TA Refraction, one of the better spells to have against the Techies. And when you're just moving around, grabbing runes, you're worried about those landmine stacks, you can just have the Refraction up constantly. So it's going to take a lot of mines to actually kill you if you're a TA.
Plus, you need someone who's going to be very, very selfless and be able to be fine being so selfless. Making a commitment like a Techies means you're not going to really have that secondary support of someone else who typically gets those wards and, you know, is there to babysit and help out everyone else. You know, be the nutrient for the team. Dazzle's very good where he can be very selfless, not really have too many big items on himself. If you're lucky, you can creep in like a medallion or something. But outside of that, just being able to bring in some early XP, have the heals, carry a TP if you need to quickly show up with a quick grave. He can be that selfless kind of a guy. And we're now going to be looking for the last pick here for Union Gaming. You're looking at a heavy-hitting lineup for Firedoe. This is going to be what I imagine their core, their late game, their answer for this late game Notorious Leshrac, plus whatever the mysterious 5th pick could be. It better be a big one. What are the options that are left?
For Fire, there's actually next to no late game. I mean, Leshrac does go late game. You get the Octarine Core and all that, and you become a beast in the late game in some sense, but you need that secondary carry. Lycan comes out. Necro 3 Purchaser does give you the true side, although Necro 3, not necessarily a hard counter Techies, because it's like your true sight Necro often just ends up dying to those remotes, and you feed a bit of gold, and you maybe clear out one patch of remotes, but then there's a few more, so I'm not convinced on how well Necro... Like, rushing Necro 3, for me, has been a bad way of dealing with the Techies. It's a big gold investment, and like Lycan's going to go for it anyway, so that's where this hero is good. It's not like you're going on a hero that normally doesn't get it, but we'll see. I'm not convinced that Lycan's the pick. It's another melee hero to go with this lineup, which is generally not what you want against Techies, and this last pick Jug is another hero. Getting Omni Slash off onto melee heroes is a lot easier than ranged carries. Yeah, I mean, he does like have the summons, have possibly the Necro book later on, could make good work of the Omni Slash and being able to mitigate a lot of the damage. Maybe they're hoping that if there's that usual congestion of a team fight pushing down mid lane or any other lane where Techies has been kind of making a home for himself, Lycan can be the answer to just do that quick split push where there may be an empty lane and take advantage of that. I'm a bit reaching here, but we'll have to see if Union Gaming do have an answer for this very, very powerhouse lineup that Fire have been able to throw together. So let's hop into it. Okay, folks, it's the Nanyang US Qualifier here. We're in the lower bracket now. This is going to be a best-of-1 elimination matchup here. Union Gaming went down 2-0, or they went down 0-2, I guess, technically, to Cloud9. Firedoe went up against Pain Gaming, and they also got dropped 0-2, so we're going to see which team is going to be staying alive here. We'll briefly go over the introduction for some of these teams, but be warned, looks like we do have a fair amount of stand-ins, especially on the side of Union Gaming here. It looks like Fire is going to be back. Fire is going against Fire. How fun is that? He's going to be playing his TA in the mid lane. It looks like Mr. Suzuya is going to be playing your Darkseer in the off lane as he heads towards the top rune. Mid lane, it's going to be Hockey playing the Earthshaker along the bottom. We got 747 Legend. I don't believe that's the same 747 as Suzy. I'm not too sure. Oh no, it is. I'm looking at Fire now. I'm getting
Getting lost and delirious with these colors of Reborn. Missed over Mr. LN over here on the bottom lane. Going to be playing your Wyvern, and that leaves Dumb Player. That's right, Dumb Player playing your Lycan.
Yep. So we'll see what the Techie does. Early on, he has gone for landmines. Sometimes he's seeing a bit more of the maybe suicide level 1, but he's putting a few down in lane, a few down behind the tower. He's already kind of got 2 small spots going here, and they didn't do anything to actually scout him out early on, so they don't actually have any idea where these landmines are.
Yeah. Normally, like, if I'm in a game, I see a Techies as a support. The first thing I do, I get a TP, I go right to that off lane, and I'm like, I'm not going to let you get anything down, and I don't want you to have any sort of advantage. Techies can be at its weakest when he's just kind of waiting and idling, gets zoned out of the lane, and has no mines anywhere to get that first blood.
Wolves are scouting for him, though. That's the key.
They're on the prowl. They're a bit too high. It's in that common little path here, and one misstep from Mr. Winter Wyvern, and that could be the first blood. So, mine-sweeping Wolves, not successful so far. He's paying a lot of attention to doing the mine-sweeping and no attention to CSing. Okay, he got one.
Yeah. That was only a single mine there. He didn't actually double mine that spot, so he wasn't actually hoping for a kill there. That's a very common, obvious spot, so gets 40 gold for a landmine. I don't think he'll mind too much about that.
Yeah, still also only one mine right up and over here. You're going to see move in here and try to intercept some of this creep pull, and you'll be able to easily do it as the Tusk with just the one lone support on the other side. Hockey has been busy kind of babysitting and watching out this mid lane. Gets a nice fissure catch, but
he's got the kill.
747 is going to head up bottom, and they do get the kill with the assistance of the mine. Wyvern will go down, and first blood will go to Moo on the side of Team Fire.
Well, Techies strikes again, and this is Wyvern's going to be kicking himself. He thought he had the wards there, and Whitebeard not level 2 yet, but as soon as he's level 2, he's probably looking for a suicide.
Oh, for sure.
We might not get level 2, though.
Arctic Burn and a fissure. Beautifully done. It looks like he's going to be going down. He gets one last ward off, and he gets the level 2, so he gets the suicide and uses it. Does put a very long cooldown on his suicide, which, I mean, he could have just died and then maybe came back and got a kill on the return. Yeah. But for now, he'll just not risk handing anything over.
Puts Arctic Burn on cooldown as well as burns through Lycan's mana, so it makes the lane a bit easier for them in general.
Top lane, we haven't really scouted out too much. Jo playing your Jug, taking the farm. Does have to deal with that pesky little Iron Shell quite a bit, but he does have the help of Fluff nearby on the Dazzle, level into the heal, and you can see using it right there. We'll keep him a bit sustained, but your Darkseer, he's getting the levels. Level 3.5 right now. Compare that to bottom, and though Moo is technically sharing the XP, is also going to be 3.5. And they're even going to be taking out the Obs Ward here. This is a rough bottom lane right now for Union Gaming.
Oh, yeah. They're already getting points in the Cold Embrace now, which is, of course, nice. It blocks physical damage, so it can save you from the Tusk Techies combo, but...
Ooh, 747.
It's on cooldown.
Turnaround, stun. Action's breaking out all over the place. Mid lane again are getting a bit of a scurry. It's bottom lane once again where they're going to follow up, and it's Whitebeard who's going to go ahead and get the kill, taking out the Wyvern once more.
Yeah, Snowball Shards with a landmine, and Wyvern got locked in. He just used the Ice Shards on Lycan, so they knew the Ice Shards, not the Ice Shards, the Cold Embrace. So once Cold Embrace is on cooldown, they just go on the Wyvern. And nice little combo that we see coming out.
Always seems to be that freaking simultaneous breakout. Just as I check mid lane, which 19 and 4. CS game, no surprise, going in favor of Susie playing the Lesh. But they always like to trade here. Early Lightning Storm, but it's on the Refraction. And they'll just continue kind of working with it as for now. It's all about the flash farming this day and age of Dota and its meta. Lesh being king. TA is going to have to get a bit of flash farming himself, and I'm not seeing any early stacks, not in the Ancient Camp. But down here, we got some stacks built up, courtesy of your Earthshaker played by Hockey. So there'll be a bit of catch-up game. In the mid-game period, though, Gods, what are your feelings about the TA versus Lesh matchup? One maybe more proactive in getting in fights, the other dedicated to farming?
Yeah, TA more dedicated to farming. Lesh can roam a lot more, and we probably playing around the runes that 747 finds, so we'll kind of have to see if you get the hasty invis and have the ability to rotate around. But just with the Tusk Techies, you can really pressure this bottom lane, take an early tower, and that's where just having the Lesh to back up the Tusk Techies works really nicely. So I think we'll see a much more active Lesh. It's also the nature of their lineup. They've got a Jug as a carry who's also very active, so we'll be seeing a lot more movement and involvement from Lesh than TA, I imagine.
Looks like they're trying to get something set up in the mid lane here. Wyvern had been missing, smoked, and going to be spotted. It looks like they're obviously trying to put pressure on the 747, taking advantage of Fire's DD rune. They have Earthshaker looking to pincer in from one side and Wyvern on the other, but because it was pinged out and scouted, He's been putting himself in a very defensive spot. He is not going to be easy to reach, and because that space has been created, bottom lane, they just continue their siege, and the tier 1 is going to be going down with the help of those mines.
Whitebeard having a pretty fun time here. He's going to continue to push things out here as he even spams landmines to push it out. And they've just left Jay alone. He can kind of handle himself against the Darkseid by himself. Has healing ward every now and then if he needs to. Has decent mana regen just with the Ring of Bassi, so he can last hit just fine against the Darkseer. It does mean they're giving Darkseer uncontested experience and even some farm, but ultimately if they're winning the other 2 lanes as a result, it's a worthwhile trade.
Still this Wyvern just kind of hanging around mid lane, hoping for that opportunity to pop up. It's very apparent Union Gaming not getting a lot done bottom, so they want to kind of put their attention elsewhere.
Yeah,
but
and they tried to do this when the TA had double damage, but that's worn off now, so this gets a lot harder to get this kill. And yeah, Wyvern again comes in, thought the TA was maybe going in with that trap, but a bit of miscommunication.
Not happening. And even if he did, the follow-up, I don't know if it would have been successful. Moo was already on the scene, could have easily showed up with a quick snowball, set of shards, and could have been just as dramatic the other way. The problem for them is bottom lane, Techies is like a broodmother on crack at times. It's just, he is taking over this lane. He can easily push down towers, and it's very scary to go into the Techies because you just don't know what kind of setup he has down there and where it's going to be coming from. And it's not like they have any sentries on hand. So, I mean, according to our own Merlini, one of the best tactics is just to leave him alone and ignore him. Don't even bother, and that seems to be something Union Gaming are doing, at least for now.
Yeah, he took 1 tower already, and the second tier 2 tower being pressured quite a lot, so it's not a bad tactic. I think you want to have like 1 hero down there who can kind of lane against him, but they haven't drafted that Queen of Pain.
Mid lane, snowball flies in from Moo, coming in from the north. They're trying to break through refraction, and they certainly will. Cold Embrace will not be there from LN. Probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. They had the help from 3 from Team Fire. They're going to get the quick and easy pick onto TA, and they'll push themselves ahead. Now 3-1.
Yeah, Techie's still just camped out in this bottom lane. About to hit level 6, and that's where ganking him becomes even more implausible.
Yeah, this is his home now.
Yeah.
This is his home.
The reason you leave him alone is because if you do gank him, he just suicides, and then it's like, well, you just spend a lot of time and resources trying to kill him, and you have to go
back. You have to go back to base and heal up now because he probably caught you with the back end of the suicide. May not kill you, but you almost might as well be dead with the amount of time you have to take to go back to base, heal up, spend the 100 gold to get a new TP, and head out elsewhere. Just pain in the butt. You don't have to deal with it, but they do have a little bit of help here. These stacks that they've been building up are now going to be farmed up. LN will be able to leech off a lot of the XP. Fire is going to be taking in a lot of the farm. And I don't know if he actually made a recent investment. Looks like a bottle is on the Crow, but for now has only finished up the treads in his own bottle.
Not getting all too much here. He's back at the bottom lane, but I mean, technically just playing mind games. Like, he plants a remote mine right in front of the Lycan's face, like on top of a creep wave, just to say, there might be 1 remote mine here, there might be 3 or 4. You guys don't want to gank me or come at me because you don't know what's here. And it's just a single remote mine smack dab in the middle of the lane, which they saw get planted, but it's just like, well, it's scare tactics for coming out from Whitebeard, and he has just set up camp in this bottom lane. He is doing the broodmother thing, and there's no answer to it from Union.
Runes pop at that 8-minute mark. It looks like Moo will bottle up the bounty on bottom as Fire takes that Invis rune at top while making another stack at the Ancient Camp. So still a big set of farm there for your TA. If she's able to put together that first big item, whether she commits all in for the Deso to start, you know, she could hit like a truck. Could be a bit deceptive to Fire and catch him off guard here, but I mean, they're just as farmed. They're getting up there. I mean, J.O.'s got his Morbid Mask done, plus phase boots here. 57 and 7 CS, pretty much neck and neck with his own Leshrek. Which, if you look at Lesh, he's got Arcane Boots that I'm sure will eventually turn into that Bloodstone, just on great timing with 1,000 gold still in the bank.
Yeah, Lesh just farmed up a pretty big stack in the jungle, so this is looking really good across the board for Fire. They've also scattered out the Ancient stack that TA is looking to maybe work on, but for now, Moo, unable to really do too much about this. He's actually sitting on top of an Invis TA, which he doesn't realize.
Jay put Throne Trap there as a bit of security to see. Now that Fire know that that stack is there, she wants to make sure she can keep tabs on it. That should come in the form of maybe a ward from one of her fellow supports, but they are busy elsewhere. It looks like bottom lane. 1 sentry in the hand of your Wyvern, but Hockey also just a bit broke on his Earthshaker. They are just inching out bit by bit, planting a sentry here. They finally found a couple of remotes, but that is just the first inch of this lane before they can really make it down that long path into Techiesville.
And Techies is just using remotes to kind of as observer wards. If you look further to the north in the Radiant jungle, this remote here is just purely to scout out ganks. So this Techies can feel pretty safe as far as who can gank him, unless they're going to commit a smoke. But yeah,
we'll even see the dumb player here.
And anyone who comes
side camp, and Moo's going to see him. There's the roll. Does the uppercut, but now is in race car mode. Lycan
suicide.
Thinks about it, but doesn't want to commit. They have their own ward just below where the Techies is right now. They'll ping out and see where the remotes are being dropped, but you can ping it out, but are you going to really be able to do anything about it? Meanwhile, neglected Jo is going to be able to push this top lane, and now he's getting help from 747, so the destruction of it should come relatively easy. Even without any points into Edict, the standard 404 build-up on Lesh, they'll be able to easily right-click it down, but here comes LN. Long shard will connect on the Lesh. Can they finish him off here? They get the trap slow. They're moving in. A vacuum back. Ion Shell in the TA. A Fisher follow-up, and they will bring down the Goatman. They got it done. A lot of muscle power to do it. A lot of space created because mid lane is more pressure coming in from Fire.
And bottom lane. Whitebeard has taken the tier 2 now.
Oh my. Is
setting up remotes really close to the Union Gaming base. This bottom lane is just a danger zone, and no one wants to go near it. It's just anyone who goes there is not getting much farm, is not going to enjoy themselves. And that's where, yeah, Lycan is just really struggling right now.
Fire on the TA wants to just quickly flash farm up this ancient camp, though it is still spotted. Moo's on the low ground here, even though there's a trap that separates the two of them. I don't know if he wants to commit. He's trying to time this out appropriately. Pokes in, sees what's happening. They do have Hockey nearby just in case with a fissure. He waits it out for now. Moo decides to move in here. Haha, mine! Grabs it with an uppercut and is able to walk away. Just being very, very cheeky here, keeping TA in check, keeping her attention away from everywhere else where there is pressure coming. They're already back at top lane again. This time the tier 1 will go down. The economy here for Team Fire has just got to be skyrocketing already, and really no surprise it is. 7,500 because of all these towers they've taken down.
They've got the top 4 heroes on net worth right now. TA actually just overtakes Tusk, but it's very dire favored right now and not looking to change anytime soon.
So what is the comeback factor here for Union Gaming? I mean, I'm not seeing the supports. They're able to string together the luxurious like Blink Dagger and your Earthshaker, but maybe the mech being thrown together on your Darkseer, getting some more levels, having the wall ready to go. He hasn't put a point in the wall yet, which is a little surprising.
Especially with the level 1 wall now only costing 125 mana and having the max duration. But I think a lot of the comeback is the team fight. Right now, though, there is the team fights. Fire are not grouping up as 5 ever. They're just continuing to split push all 3 lanes, so... I think TA is the key hero for them. Lycan's just not going to be able to split push, not going to be able to do a whole lot. But TA is the one who can actually go to lanes, contest the techies a bit better, and dish out a lot of damage in a short period of time. Once she gets levels, you only have level 1 meld right now on TA. Fire really needs to hit level 10, level 11, and pick up some items as well to go with this.
Moo has had this invis. It's about to expire now. Looked for multiple opportunities to maybe open up on the Darkseer, but the opportunity's not there, so he'll take his attention elsewhere. Same will 747 and Fluff in hand. They're going to start moving down this mid lane. Jo's going to stay back, farm up the rest of the jungle. We already know what the hell Whitebeard's doing. He's doing his Whitebeard, Neckbeard thing on the bottom lane with his techies. So, as it stands, Union Gaming still yet to spread, and they just continue to get confined and restricted on their map more and more.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be... I mean, it's going to be tough for any kind of a comeback here. It's going to be a Midas pickup for Lycan. I think this is fine. It's like one of those items where you can get it when you're really far ahead and you're going to get a 4-minute Midas, or you can get it when you're really far behind. It's just to try and say, hey, look, we're going to only win this if we get to the super late game. So this is just one of those Lycan pickups where it's like there's no item that will actually help my team out. Late game it is. And a big problem is the levels on this Radiant side. No one actually has any experience to play around with, so Midas can kind of help alleviate that problem.
They're trying to smoke and move top lane in hopes to catch out a Lesh who's just kind of hanging around, maybe even farming in that northern part of the woods, but they already... Like, Fire, it feels like it's not just one team, it's like 3 teams doing different things. You got your Techies team bottom lane doing bottom lane stuff. You got Fluff moving in tandem with one of the 2 cores. This time he's hand in hand with Jo. With his new medallion, he'll be able to easily do the Roche. 747, we saw his attention at the top lane. And Moo is just walking around, maybe hoping for opportunities to get quick picks. So while UG have been running around with a smoke, finding no one, Fire continue to advance the game forward. It's just...
And it's very much the game plan. It's not like they're not... It's not like a bad sign. Like, oh, they're not really playing as a team. Like, they're winning, but it's all individual performance. Like, this is the strategy. This is what Fluff has concocted when you've gone for this techie strat where you just split the map and you force your opponents to just kind of pull their hair out trying to deal with the threats in 3 different lanes. You're pressuring bottom with the solo techies for the entire game. No one wants to deal with them. You're pressuring top lane with the Juggernaut. No one can really deal with a farm Jug, and no one can stop stuff like Roshan going down as well. So it's just well-executed strategy so far coming out from Fire.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Fluff, their captain and drafter, a lot of credit to him. I almost call him like that mad scientist where he's able to throw together such beautiful synergies. But for this particular draft, I think it was more just kind of handed over to him. Like, you have these top picks. Put them together, and they're going to make it work. They're going to hand over the Lesh, then not take the Tusk for themselves. You have Whitebeard, who is a Techies player. Might as well go into that thereafter, and things just kind of started falling into place very easily. So
Whitebeard at bottom, may be forced to suicide.
Yep. Winter's Curse. I don't know if he'll be able to get it off. He will. Turns back, blows up, and even gets the kill onto the Lycan with the help of the Mine. That's just disgusting. He'll go down. Fire still hold their lead 4-3. Because of that attention towards the bottom lane, they push in the mid lane, then go for the top, and it looks like they'll be able to secure tier 2.
Wow.
This may be a very swift best of 1 if it proceeds to go like this. I don't even foresee Union Gaming being able to break out and go past that river again.
The vision as well from Fire is being kind of on point. They've got wards scouting out in the jungle. The techies uses the remote mines for scouting, kind of in the Radiant jungle as well as the bottom lane. So it seems like a matter of time for when Fire's going to break on through. They've been leveling up Edict now on Leshrac, even overgained the second point in Pulse Nova, just because they're saying, look, they're not team fighting us. We just need the pushing potential of Diabolic Edict. Let's just skip some Pulse Nova points.
Blink in uppercut. Fire already showing off all those fancy new items they got from the towers, and they're going to get the quick, swift kill on the TA with the help of the Omni coming out from Jo. A quick kill on the UG core. Takes her on the sidelines for 30 seconds. Buyback is available. Would not want to have to use it right here and now. She had been saving big economy to try to even put together what looks like the first component only of a Desolator, maybe a BKB. Just has that Mithril Hammer for now. Was holding about 1,200 gold, but the pressure continues to go. Fire might decide to slow play this a bit.
Well, Techies is just going to keep on poking bottom lane. He's already done 500 damage to a tier 3 tower by himself. And yeah, they've got the Aegis. I think they've taken all the outer towers. So pushing high ground, even with an Aegis at this stage, not easy when you're pushing into Earthshaker, Darkseer, Winter's Curse as well. And it looks like they, like you say, they will slow play it a bit more. Get a few more levels on the heroes. It's only 2 points in the Diabolic Edict, so they've got heroes who can still grow a lot from where they currently are.
Jo sporting that, what, 6.83 was it build up for your Jug? The Jug Troll era. He's got the Mom, he's got the Phase, the SNY, he already did the Roche. Got a little bit of the old school and a little bit of the new school with that fancy Lesh pickup here in Techies, so just making it work. Oh, how nice. A DD rune now even. Going to be bottled up here for Mr. 747 as they truck back towards the bottom where Whitebeard goes back into his position. He's got that Yules. Makes for easy setups. You could drop a Stasis, quick Yules up thereafter, plus a Mine. Not even going into him 1v1 is going to be happening now. Who gets another Invis. He's been flooded with Invis runes this game. Pops it up, heads towards the top lane here where there is a TA. Not something he can really do alone, but it looks like Jo is en route possibly from the north. They're not going to get their opportunity. It's just more pressure coming down from all lanes and all fronts from the side of Fire until they feel like it's at their time to make that high ground push. They have the Aegis, so they certainly can do it. It's just a matter of when they feel like they should do it. Oh, top lane. Jo baiting in this TA, but there's 4 up here. Moo does not want to get involved with that.
Yeah, Moo says, I don't really want to come in to save you here. It's probably going to end up with me dead instead of you, which is not really what I want.
This Invis is about to expire. He jumped in and punched the courier.
Gets the Ice Shards block off too, so.
And walks away.
And meanwhile, bottom lane, Edict, Mines, gets the tower down really low now. Looks like Leshrac's going to join up a bit with the Techies. Realize no one wants to fight the Techies. His bottom lane's constantly empty. That could just lead to a free high ground push here. Especially with the Aegis still online for 747.
All right, now it's high ground defensive time. But you look at their lineup, and it's like, oh, they might be able to do it, but you remember it's only about 20 minutes in, and really Union Gaming don't have a lot of resources here. Yeah, sure, your Earthshaker, he does have Echo. It's a level 1, but there's no Blink, no way to really kind of get it into that prime position. I'm sure Fire not going to allow an easy opportunity, staying well spread when they do make their committed push. And Whitebeard kills Lycan bottom lane with that stack of mines.
Yeah.
He goes down.
Well,
Rough game for a Lycan, who's even trying to go down that greedy road, had committed for a Midas. I don't know if he's going to be able to get much after this Midas because it's already time to defend your base, and a Midas is not going to help with that.
Yeah. And Fire, not wasting any time. On the higher ground, level 4 Diabolic Edict, no glyph available. They will push very quickly.
Tier 3 to drop here. No glyph on hand. Rax is now exposed. Fire decide to double back. They're doing it the safe way here. Little by little. A tier 3 here, a tier 3 possibly there on bottom with the help of Whitebeard. And they'll creep in, maybe go for a tier 3 top. This is like torture right now for Union Gaming, though.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Slow, painful death.
And Techies even has a Blink dagger now, so if he sees an opportunity, he may come towards the mid lane, but look for a Blink Suicide and a couple of heroes. He packs a punch with that level 4 Suicide, and
I always enjoy the cheeky Force Staff over the Yules so you can push them into your mines. But can't fault on Yules too much.
I think you see a bit more of the Force stuff these days. And like you go back for the Yules afterwards if you want the Yules as well, but
Lycan is playing the support now. There's a couple of obs here. Apparently doesn't want to put it down on the high ground. All right. Walks instead away, still holding the 2 runes. And they see a Techies here, and they're like, I don't really want to go in there. I died last time. I'll take these. Is it safe? I don't know. Okay. They see him putting down mines. This is hard to watch. I'm not going to lie, gods. This is very, very tough right now. I mean, this is just... They are just getting shoved into a corner of the schoolyard. Their lunch money is being taken away.
Yep.
Fire is just like, here's a noogie. Wedgie here. They should have expected this, though, gods. Going back to the draft, they let the pony go. And then the tusk. It only could go downhill from there.
That's where those opening 2 picks kind of left me scratching my head. Like, didn't even get a Gyrocopter in exchange. They got an Earthshaker Darkseer for a Leshrac Tusk. That is not a trade you want to make with your opening 2 picks. And I mean, the Techies is one of those things that a lot of teams say is like definitely out there as one of the kind of strongest heroes right now. Just most teams aren't really playing it. As much as they talk about how good it is, but hey, Fire, that in the best of 1 in the lower bracket match, they'll pull out what they need to win.
It's definitely a reminder to some of the other teams that are still competing in this very qualifier who may be watching right now that Fire do have a Techies up their sleeve. Something it is to consider and look out for as a possible ban in the future. Uh-oh, mid lane. Lycan may have gone out a little bit too far here. Gets caught with the Yules, gets caught with the stun. A Fissure will come out from his brother Hockey and will save him here. But look how quick he's punished. And he was only out like what felt like 50 yards in front of the front door. Nowhere is safe.
So next Roshan respawning, I think pretty in the next minute or 2, but it may not even matter. As Fire is already inside the high ground, the base of Union Gaming.
Yep, and they don't really need to commit everyone for that Roche. Jo and maybe just the Dazzle could get it done alone. Mid lane, Yule, stun onto TA. There's the Bolt. She's still able to shrug it all off with the help of the Refraction. She's going to be A-okay. They still also hold their mech here on their Darkseer. Could hope for the Union Gaming dream. A huge vacuum into an Echo with a wall. While Psyblades are just ripping everyone apart. Fire let go of their mouse and keyboard, and Union Gaming could have their comeback.
Ooh, it would take something along that level of disaster for Fire, I think, to lose this game. Techies decides to suicide bottom. He was getting fairly low and didn't have any mana anyway, so I think he may have lived with the Yule's Blink, but he's just like, I just want to get free Fountain Trip. And he's in a pretty good position now. He picks up an ultimate orb even.
All right, let's see. If Fire really, really want to play this safe, indeed they could step back, wait for the Roche to come up, which, again, we don't know what time it is because apparently Reborn...
7 seconds. 6 seconds, 5.
Oh, thank you, a little pop-out timer.
As you say that, it's like,
here's your
pop-up.
I wish it was that convenient. That's what I've been asking for the whole time. Why can't I just hit a button and that little thing comes out and tells me, you know?
Rather than
a clock that
now... You don't need any clock whatsoever if it's just like a button you click.
Yeah.
Kind of like the stats pop-up.
The clock was tricky enough as it was. Now it just doesn't work. Yeah. Clock needs a new battery. But here we go. Jo sees it's up. He's going to move in and start it at his solo. And as I said before, there is going to be a Dazzle nearby to help with that medallion, which is actually already a solar crest. Man, they are rich. And that will be a quick Roche, a quick Aegis, and then Fire will make their parade of a push. I imagine ascending into the base. Uh-oh. They know that they're probably doing Roche. This is Union Gaming's chance to get this Lesh. They're going to make a committed move. They got the fissure. Do they have the time to do it? They might. Oh, he gets a big stun as they try to jump in with the Echo, and he uses it. Oh, no. Union Gaming a 3-on-1. That was one of their chances just to get a pick on the damn goat, and they can't do it.
Brutal stuff. I mean, Lesh just played that so nice. The stun on the blinking on the Earthshaker, which was a bit of just lucky timing, but then the Yules to dodge the Echo Slam afterwards. That was a really nice play. And after that, Jo with Skadi. This is probably both mid and bottom lane of Rax for Fire.
Not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've seen a game with only 10 kills already at this point, where they're pushing in for the Rax. Might make it 11? No! A save of the Glimmer Cape there for your Dark Series, able to etch away from Jo's pesky right click. One Rax will go down, the first one of this game, and they continue to move on in here. Now, remember, Union Gaming expended a lot of those big ultimates, so they don't have much to offer. That's a gem hitting the deck from Wyvern as he will go down. Everyone else could follow suit here as 747 is just flexing off all the glitter here of that big ultimate. Shreds right through the TA, and that is our game. 26 minutes into it. Fire will advance on forward in the bottom bracket, eliminating Union Gaming in this best of one.
Yeah. Union Gaming just kind of outclassed in the qualifier as a whole. It feels like they got kind of crushed yesterday 2-0, very one-sided games, and here again today against Fire. I mean, there was all kinds of draft problems for them. Even the execution wasn't really there, it felt like. And I think they got outdrafted kind of heavily, but
yeah,
there was still more they could have done with their picks than what we saw here. It was, what, 3 kills? No, they had 1 kill the entire game or something.
Oh, yeah, because you got to the suicides.
Don't count.
That's 1 kill from Darkseer.
Yeah, that was the only kill they had the entire game. And it was 4 heroes involved. You can see the 3 assists there. So with all the techie suicides, yeah, they got nothing done this game. Couldn't find anything out of the Winter Wyvern rotations. Earthshaker as well, ineffective. Like, picking a mid like a TA with an Earthshaker, you don't have the kill potential. I feel like you want to have that Shadow Fiend, Queen of Pain, Lina type hero against the Lesh mid so you can actually get kills when Earthshaker rotates in with a fissure. But, I mean, yeah, draft aside, I think Fire would clearly the better team.
When you go into a best of 1 elimination match, ban Leshrek, at least in this patch, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So as it stands, Union Gaming, we wish them the best, give them props, but they will be done here for the NYChampionships. Team Fire will go ahead and advance on forward and await their future opponent, but we're not done today, folks. This is just our appetizer, our potato skins, if you will, for today's delicious meal. Coming up next, it's a best of 3 matchup. We're going to be seeing Cloud9 go against the Southern American squad, Pain Gaming. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. We'll see you soon. I'm Coddle Guy for Beyond the Summit. Joining me is Gods. We'll see you in a bit.